Hi, hello, I'm Jeremy from McGill University, and today I'll be talking to you about metric fakeouts. This is the name given by Justin London to describe hearing music in one metric setting, such as how many beats are in each bar, where the downbeat is, what the tempo is, but then coming to realize, sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly, that perhaps what you imagined was wrong all along. The downbeat could actually be in a different place. The tempo might be faster or slower, or the meter itself could be completely different. You were, in other words, faked out. But hold on a sec, you might be thinking. That sounds ridiculous. Are you saying I can't tell the difference between 3/4 and 4/4? Or between fast music and slow music? That I can't even tell the difference between strong and weak beats? Well, I don't know about that. What I want to emphasize, though, is that this might be harder than you really think, and that some songs will actively try to trick us. But before we look at some music, I wanted to show you some examples of how this happens in language. Have you ever read a news headline and been momentarily confused by its meaning? Sometimes headlines can have two plausible meanings, the intended one and a sort of humorous parallel meaning. Here's my favorite example. Bear attacks puzzle experts. In extreme cases, this ambiguity is only resolved, or should I say revealed, toward the end of the sentence. Suddenly, we find ourselves having to re-evaluate the entire meaning of the phrase we had been building in our mind, and the original meaning turns out to be impossible. Linguists call these garden path sentences, in the sense, of being led astray down a garden path. So now that I've primed you, let's look at a garden path sentence, and let's see how you do. Okay, the horse raced past the barn. Fell. Huh? Okay, so what happened? The horse raced past the barn makes pretty good sense by itself, and by this point, our brains think, yep, that's cool, job well done. But then we get this word, fell, and we are stuck. The word clashes with the meaning we were building in our head, and so we are forced to reinterpret, retrospectively, the actual meaning of the sentence. The sentence is really about a horse that was raced past a barn and which fell over. It's worth pointing out that there isn't actually anything grammatically wrong with this sentence. But is this the meaning you were likely to build in your mind as you heard it? So, what does this all have to do with music? The simplest and perhaps most common type of metric fakeout goes something like this. As you listened to that opening riff, you probably started to groove to it, aligning the first note of the loop with your imaginary downbeat. If you were making a transcription, it might look something like this. And so just like the horse raced past the barn, this makes sense to us as a musical unit. Your brain probably thought, cool, I got this. But then, once we have entrained this pattern, the drums come in, and perhaps there is a moment of shock. Hey, that's not where the downbeat is. And so when we hear this bit, we need to readjust and retrospectively hear the opening riff as syncopated. This transcription maybe captures it better. This is what Mark Butler calls turning the beat around. And we have here the same kind of question that we had with our horse. How likely do you think it is that you would have heard the music this way from the very beginning? And I think, really, that's what makes this kind of metric game so interesting. I'm almost out of time, but I just want to play you one more example from Roisin Murphy. This one is a little bit different, and it also happens quite quickly. I'll leave you to decide what happens here, though. Try to think about the kind of meter you were set up to hear, and how, or whether, the music subverted this. If If you're interested, I've attached a playlist of some other songs with, what I hear, some kind of metric fakeout. Have a listen and see if you agree. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time.